Julius Caesar. Not just a man that a surgery and a salad dressing are named after, he's also the most powerful man in Rome circa 44 BC. He's got the army, the people, and the Senate in the palm of his hand. So life's great, until it wasn't. One minute you're ruling the Republic, the next you're bleeding out in the Senate floor. So what went wrong? Welcome to Shoulda, Coulda, Woulda, where we talk about what should've, could've, and would've been done to avoid the catastrophe we're about to see. Well, Caesar ignored every single warning sign, and he ended up regretting it. First mistake, Caesar's power moves. The man declared himself dictator for life. Now, in a republic that prided itself on shared power and term limits, this was a big no-no. Historians agree, if Caesar had just stuck to the usual 6-month dictatorship term, the Senate might have grumbled and whined, but they probably wouldn't have sharpened their knives. Instead, he made it clear he wasn't stepping down anytime soon. Lesson number 1, don't hog the spotlight or the throne. Then there's the Senate. No, not this Senate. Yes. Rome's political elite. These guys already felt sidelined by Caesar's reforms. He redistributed land, granted citizenships among Romans, and basically said, I don't need your approval. Get this. Caesar bypassed the Senate entirely to push his policies. While that never happens today, it's basically like showing up to your boss's office, sitting on their chair, and saying, I run the show now. Predictably, the senators weren't going to be thrilled. Spoiler alert, they weren't. What he could have done was smooth things over. A little Senate Appreciation Day here, a token gesture there, let them pass a law, whatever it takes to make them not so stabby. Next, let's talk about the K word, king. Romans hated kings. They'd overthrown one a few centuries earlier and built their republic to avoid another. But Caesar? He wasn't exactly subtle. The man put his face on coins, accepted godlike honors, and allegedly even flirted with the idea of a crown. At the Lupercalia festival, Mark Antony offered him a crown, and although Caesar refused, the damage was done. The Senate was convinced. Caesar wasn't just playing dictator, he wanted to be king. And in Rome, that was basically a death sentence. Now about Caesar's inner circle. If you're the most powerful man in the world, maybe pick your friends a little better, and don't surround yourself with people who secretly hate your guts. Brutus, Cassius, and the rest of the conspirators were right there. Let's be fair to Brutus, though. He was torn. On the one side, he was close to Caesar, but at the same time, he was deeply committed to Republican ideals. Cassius, however, was fueled by jealousy and ambition. And Caesar? He trusted them anyway. If someone's giving you side-eye during meetings, maybe don't make them your right-hand man. Here's where it gets almost funny, if it weren't so bloody. Caesar had so many warnings. A soothsayer literally told him, beware the Ides of March. His wife Calpurnia had nightmares about his death and begged him to stay home. I mean, why are you not superstitious at this point? Caesar, though, he shrugged it off. What's the worst that could happen? Well, the worst is getting stabbed 23 times by angry senators, to be exact. Maybe skip the meeting next time. Finally, Caesar's biggest mistake. No exit strategy. He was planning to leave for a military campaign, which would have made him even more powerful. The conspirators knew this was their last chance to act. Caesar should have stepped back, retired, written his memoirs, maybe opened a vineyard. He could have avoided the whole stabbing situation. But no, he wanted it all. And in the end, he lost everything. So what's the moral of the story? Julius Caesar wasn't just assassinated because he was powerful. He was assassinated because he ignored every warning, alienated his allies, and underestimated his enemies. Could he have avoided it? Absolutely. Play nice with the Senate, listen to your wife, and maybe don't act like a king in a republic. But hindsight's 20/20, right? Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment about which historical disaster we should regret together next. Adios.